Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today I prepare fried green tomatoes for those tomatoes that just won't ripen. And we visit the Mahoning Valley Historical Society's exhibit on the Mahoning River. But first, a kayak ride up the lazy river. Well, I am not really sure whether to kiss or kick Mr. Callinger here. He is a friend of the Mahoning River, and he, really got me involved with this kayak canoe trip.
Good.
And you are a kayaker.
Yes.
And how long have you been involved with this organization?
With the organization, better part of a year, and it's been a nice little ride in so many ways. There's a lot to like about, for several reasons. So one of the things is that the organization provides information, and it monitors legislative things that might affect the Mahoning River. And I know we're all excited about the possibility of this becoming a state park. I mean, and that might not be...
and you see the other communities, how, the river has transformed their downtown and their area, because it just attracts people, it attracts business, where before ours was not in such good shape with the mills and all that and the dumping. So now we really do have an opportunity to build upon the river.
It's really nice to see it go that way too. I mean, when you're on the river downtown, because it is surrounded by essentially a tunnel of trees, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. Maybe the viewers will notice this in the segment.
And the perspective, I think, will be really neat, to see it from the river view.
From the river point of view, and it's just a very pretty ride. It's something we've probably waited decades for, and we're finally being able to do it.
This is Don Rex, and he is on the board of the Friends of the Mahoning River. And how long have you been involved?
Probably 4 or 5 years now.
And what made you get involved with this organization?
I was always interested in the river. We used to canoe with my kids from Niles to Girard. So when I saw the organization, and they met at that time at the public library, that's when I started going.
So
haven't stopped.
Canoed for many years on the river?
Yeah, occasionally, not regularly, but I used to take family members from Niles to Girard, which is a very easy paddle.
It is, and they have the launches and that there,
yes.
Or would you just kind of rough it and jump in and jump out?
They have spots, but they're primitive.
Have you dumped a couple times?
Oh yes, I've become famous for getting caught in strainers. I don't know if you know what a strainer is.
Well, no, but I hope you'll tell me.
It's simply where a tree has come down and the branches are in the water, but the water flows through the branches. But if you get caught in it, you don't flow through. You get stuck.
Oh my gosh.
And then you eventually flood and you go in.
So when you go in, what is the water like? I mean, is it just...
Not bad. In fact, the last time I went in, I was towards the rear of the pack going, so I knew there was people ahead of me. So when I went in, I just laid back on my life vest, put my feet out in front of me, and just floated down to them.
Patricia Dunbar is one of the founders and the president of the Friends of the Mahoning River. And you started this organization back in 12.
Right.
And what were the goals of your group when you started this?
Well, first of all, we wanted to advocate for the river. So we wanted to be the voice of the river in terms of restoring it, in terms of recreation, because so many people think it's like a sewer. Don't step in it, you're gonna get sick, and that's not the case. It is, Ohio EPA did a biological study in 2012, 2013, and found that the water quality has improved. And there's still gunky sediments in there.
Yes.
But the water quality is really good. The fish are coming back. I mean, it's just wonderful. And I wanted, just to get that story out and to get the community to value what a wonderful resource that we have running in our backyard.
And it really is a long river.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it goes from Columbiana, all the way into Pennsylvania.
right.
I mean, it's quite a river.
Well, not only that, but it's got a U shape. So it starts in Alliance, is where the headwaters are, goes north into Levittsburg and Warren, then starts coming south, and then, yes, goes into the Pennsylvania. So it's very different.
And what changes have you seen since you started this group?
More launches, which
More
is
awareness?
more awareness as well, yes, because another thing that our group does is we have an annual River Fest. This year was our 8th, because we've had one
Yes.
every year since we've started, just again to bring people down to celebrate the river, to make them aware that the river's here. It's we were participating with Lowellville. They're trying to remove that dam, and that's another goal, is getting rid of all the low-head dams that were put in place during steel making. We needed it
Yes.
back then, but we don't need them now. And now they're just an obstacle for water quality, for fish, for recreation.
So your goals are just to keep it accessible and just to keep it, for recreation.
Recreation, and just the fact that, just to come down here and see the beauty.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Well, we are here at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery, and I am with Rude the Dude. And let me tell you, there is no place I'd rather be than this patio. It is beautiful. Sunday Fun Day is every day.
Well, yeah, Casey, winter's almost over, so the patio season is coming. We have one of the biggest patios in Boardman. Every Saturday, live entertainment. Other special events that we do, we have a car cruise every Wednesday, taking up the whole lot. It's a great event, a lot of beautiful cars. Our farm to table menu, we still support local ingredients, local products, meat and cheese local. We also have our happy hour, Monday through Friday, half off all 41 craft beers on tap.
And a lot of local
and
beers
tons
there
of local
too.
beer, tons of local beers. But it's just a great time to come out and enjoy Magic Tree.
The living is easy at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at ElizabethBernardLaw.com.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. We'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life, trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Is it time to update your color style? R&S Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop R&S Paint.
You really must pay a visit to the Tyler History Center. Their permanent collection is a fascinating look at every aspect of life in the Mahoning Valley. Early settlers, industry, ethnic culture, media, sports, entertainment, and commerce. It's like going through the valley's time capsule from hundreds of years ago to modern history. A current exhibit running through September 15th is On the Banks of the Mahoning, How the River Shaped the Valley. The river has a great history and an exciting future. Well, we're back with the Executive Director of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, Bill Lawson, and this exhibit is very timely, don't you think, right now?
Oh, I think so.
So much attention is being paid to the river.
Yes.
Now that, you know, the cleanup is taking place and it's now going right through our entertainment district.
That's right, and we have new attractions on the river with the amphitheater here in Youngstown, and then there's one in Warren too that's been operating for a number of years. So it's really encouraging that we can bring people back to the river proper.
It goes from what? It starts in Columbiana?
The East Branch starts in Columbiana near Hanoverton, and the West Branch starts in Ravenna, and those two branches come together right outside of Newton Falls. And then it travels northeast at Levertsburg and then turns and goes at a diagonal through Warren, Niles, Girard, and into Youngstown, and then Struthers, Camel, and Lowellville, and into Pennsylvania.
So actually our history begins, I mean, going way back with the Native Americans.
About 12,000 years back, yes.
And you have a lot of this prehistoric, but where would you even get these kind of artifacts?
Well, I'll tell you. And first of all, this exhibit has both collections from the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, but also the Trumbull County Historical Society. So it's a joint effort between the two institutions. But as I mentioned, after the last ice age, which the glaciers receded about 12,000 years ago, people started moving in here. And first they were hunters and gatherers, and then later they started doing some farming, agriculture, livestock, and then became much more advanced in the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, and that's about the time that the native people started interacting with Europeans and Americans from the East Coast.
So this brings us to like the 1800s into the mid-1800s.
Correct, and this is the early settlement time. There are some industries starting out, but most people are engaged either in a trade or in agriculture, farming on their land. And so these artifacts really speak to that period. You have certain things like a little candle holder there with a point on it, which that goes back to the earliest times of log cabins, where you would take the point of that and just stick it in between your logs and hold it in place. Iron industry started here in the Mahoning Valley in 1803 when Daniel and James Heaton built and opened the Hopewell furnace, which was on Yellow Creek, and then at that time it was Poland Township, later as part of the city of Struthers. And it was the first attempt to make molten iron and then to cast it into tools.
I love this.
I love it too. It's a great, great document. It's a great piece of art. You had, in the late 19th and early part of the 20th century, panoramic photographers. And they had special cameras that would actually create this very wide format. And how they did it is the camera was on a swivel and it would move in exact increments and shoot frame, frame, frame. And then back in the lab, they developed and merged them together into one print.
I mean, that's pretty sophisticated.
But you know, your naked eye or no camera lens could create this wide of an aspect. And so that's what we have here, which really is a great document showing Youngstown and downtown Youngstown in 1912.
So the 1913 flood.
Yes.
What part of the river was really, and what part of the city was flooded out?
Well, all of the river was affected because you had this freak rainstorm that lasted 4 to 5 days and just dumped inches of rain. This was in March of 1913. And so a lot of places were affected, but once you got to the lower Mahoning River Valley, which would be from Warren on down through Youngstown and over into Pennsylvania, that's where, with all the tributary streams, that the water really congealed and brought it up to historic levels. Here you can see a photograph of the Market Street Bridge in Warren, where the water is actually up to the bridge deck.
Oh my gosh.
And these are some great shots, one in downtown Warren and one in downtown Youngstown.
So there was a pleasure boat company in Youngstown.
Yes. And there's a pleasure boat operator here in Warren where, and this is that pool I was telling you about behind the mill dam. It's a steam-powered boat, and you can see there's passengers on it, and it would just putt around in the river. And then also you can see over on the shore, you have a boat livery, and you could rent a rowboat and take it out into that pool and row around.
And, you know, romance your gal.
And there's Mahoning Avenue coming across and people looking down on the boat as it operated. So There was recreation to do in the river in the 19th
now it
century,
will
and
be
now we're
back.
bringing it back with the Warren and Youngstown Foundation amphitheaters, and I think that's all for the good.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
I am blessed with a wonderful husband. He's stuck with me through thick and thin, and he's a fantastic father. So when he needed long-term care, not just any place would do, we did our research. Everyone said, trust the name you know, Briarfield. With all those locations, there's always one close. That made it easy for me and the kids to visit more often, Briarfield.
Trust the name you know, Briarfield, proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Selling engagement rings never gets old. It's love.
It's a huge undertaking because they're going to wear that ring probably forever, but if they're not going to wear it forever, they're going to pass it down to somebody.
Our rings will hold a lifetime, and we want to make sure it does. We stand by every single thing that we sell. I believe I can find the perfect ring. I really try to get them exactly what she would want.
And to just be a little part of that is really, it warms your heart inside.
Get real, get Kamara.
Join me September 14th for the TLTD Cocktail Party to benefit the Rosemary Flanagan Ovarian Cancer Foundation at the Doubletree, downtown Youngstown. For tickets, go to rmfocf.org.
Buddy knows. For new floors, shop the Floor Store of Ohio. Choose from flooring that's Buddy safe, Buddy approved, and made in Ohio. Plus, take up to 24 months to pay, interest-free, better brands, even better prices. You've got a Buddy at the Floor Store of Ohio.
Well, Jelaine is joining me in the kitchen today, and this recipe is delicious. It is perfect for this time of year, and everyone I know that has a garden is also suffering from my dilemma. This is as far as my tomatoes are going. They're big, they're beautiful, they are so firm, but they are not turning red. They are green.
Yes.
So, fried green tomatoes. I've been eating quite a few of them. The best sauce to serve them with, I do like them with just a hot sauce or a squirt of lime, but I am going to pull out my remoulade sauce.
Oh, the New Orleans sauce.
I make this for my shrimp cocktail instead of cocktail sauce.
It's so good.
So around Christmas time I do this. And I'm gonna make a batch of that, and then we'll get over to the stove and we'll fry some fried green tomatoes. And I'm telling you, it's not too bad if our tomatoes do not turn red, because these are delicious.
They are good.
Ingredients for the remoulade sauce: 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice, 1/2 cup of canola oil, 1/4 cup of chopped onions, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of horseradish, and 3 tablespoons of whole grain mustard, yellow mustard, and ketchup. You'll also need 4 tablespoons of chopped parsley, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You don't need to haul out the big food processor for this, because it'll fit in the smaller one. And there's really no special order. Just start dumping all of the ingredients into the bowl of the food processor. You're gonna be my sous chef today.
I am going to be your sous chef.
All right, Mommy, thanks. The garlic and onion. And then like, I use regular yellow mustard. I mean, I really love yellow mustard.
I love any kind of mustard. I'm a mustard person.
And then this is really nice to have the stone ground. And then the canola oil, because when you refrigerate it, if you use olive oil, it'll kind of get gel.
Yeah.
And cloudy.
And cloudy.
So that's why I don't use it. And oh, I am using some fresh horseradish. And look at all this good stuff. I mean, how can this not be a good sauce? And it's a great topping for other things. The cayenne, of course you can lessen it if you don't like the heat. And then the lemon juice. And last but not least, we'll put the parsley in. Oh, how I love parsley. And a little bit of salt.
Did you have parsley in your garden this year?
No, I didn't. Okay, my garden really failed me. And some fresh garlic. And that's it. So what we'll do is, I'll just blend this all together.
There.
And that's it.
It does smell good.
This is good on a lot of things, not just this. And what I'm gonna do is just transfer this to a bowl, and I will put this in the refrigerator and let it chill a little bit. Well, our sauce is chilling in the fridge, and there's very few ingredients actually in the green tomato preparation. I like the heat, and my girlfriend Sharon brought me this back. Slap ya mama. And I use this, but use it sparingly instead of cayenne, but I do like a little heat with the green tomatoes. So we'll go over these ingredients, and then we're gonna get slicing and frying. Okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna put you to work. For the fried green tomatoes, you'll need 1 large egg, ½ cup of buttermilk, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, salt, pepper, some spicy Cajun seasoning, 3 to 4 green tomatoes sliced, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick, and peanut oil for frying. Now make sure you take the stem and core it out before you slice them so you get as many slices as you can, and try to keep them uniform. So these look pretty good, not great, but most of them came out pretty good. What I like to do, because they're very, very firm, I mean the firmer the green tomato, the better it is to work with. And what I like to do is just salt and pepper them before I start the assembly of them. Why don't you take the buttermilk and the egg and mix that together in this bowl. Buttermilk really adds a nice...
Well, it's a little heavier.
It's heavier, and it adds, I don't even know what the word to use is. It just has a different flavor to it.
It's
really nice.
Your dad used to laugh because I'd like to drink buttermilk.
Then on this plate, we're gonna have a little assembly line here, okay? Just plain flour, all right? And then this plate will have our cornmeal. And I'm going to put a little bit of pepper and a little bit of slap your mama. A little bit of salt. Here's my salt. And we'll mix this together. And boy, I'll tell you, I just love the crunch of this. First thing we do is we dunk it in the powder, the flour. And then it goes to the buttermilk mixture, and then it goes into cornmeal, okay? And you wanna make sure that it really adheres. So you just give it a little press. There we go. All right, and that's it. We will continue to assemble these, and then we will go to the stove to cook them. Well, we finished with all the breading, and I'm going to use peanut oil to fry these because I find it's the cleanest oil. It doesn't have as much absorption, but you can use canola, grapeseed, whatever you prefer, but I prefer a peanut oil. Don't crowd the pan, and it'll be about 2 minutes per side. All right, so that's it, 4 minutes. I'll remove these, put them on some paper towels to help drain. I will put the next round in, but before I do like to sprinkle them when they're nice and hot with just a little bit more salt. All right, well, as you can see, we did not wait for you. We dug in. But let me tell you, I love the green Tabasco on this too. Remember the other night I served it? Mm-hmm. And the remoulade is perfect.
Oh, it's good.
I'm telling you. And this wine, tell me how you like it.
Is this at your wedding?
Well, no, this was the brand.
Oh.
14 hands. I had the cab. It's from Washington State, but the Pinot Grigio.
Oh, I love it.
Is nice. It's really crisp, cuts through all this wonderful stuff.
I don't think you'd want red with the tomatoes.
No, you still want to cut the heat because there is a little bit of heat here. And thank you, Jolene. You were so helpful today. Love you.
I'm your new sous chef.
That's right. Introduce my new employee. Go to my website, caseymalonесhow.com. Get the recipe for the remoulade sauce and for my fried green tomatoes. You will love it. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.